All right. Well, good day and welcome to Commerce Today. My name is Darin Newbold, and I'm excited to be here with you all. And I have a wonderful, very, very special guest, Kornelia Maciesza, if I said that correctly. Kornelia,
You're welcome.
welcome. Welcome to Commerce Today. We're very happy to have you. And we've got an exciting topic for today, all about setting that solid, successful foundation for projects, for your e-commerce projects, and setting them up. Cornelia is one of our excellent uh, project managers, and we're excited to hear all about establishing that strong foundation. So, Cornelia, tell us about that.
Hello, Darin. Hello, everyone. Thank you for invitation. I am excited because um, I love talking about managing projects because this is lots of things that project managers skip because they know how to do that. They think they know. They become a little bit blind sometimes. It's important to remind ourselves and to other managers that there is still something to learn about our clients. Not every single client and project is the same. So don't do it the same way. And I hope today we will navigate a little bit, everyone, how to do this even better than normally project managers do.
Excellent, excellent. Well, let's talk about that strong foundation. I mean, what does it take to really set the stage and get a project rolling the right way?
So a lot of projects starts with kickoff meeting. This is how we call it, and basically, this is a meeting where agencies show how they will conduct the project. They present timelines. Uh, they show the success path or a happy path. The trouble is that it is impossible to just present the timeline without the client's contribution in it. So let me give you an example. Um, the client may think that, okay, he will have like weekly statuses with us, he will make some decisions, he will be creating tasks for us, and will be just bringing the portion of work. But when we just sit with a client and we ask, okay, so let's discuss your resources. Who is the most skilled at your team testing? Or who will be your internal client? So, someone on a client end saying, okay, this demo that you presented is okay, or UAT is passed. By asking this
So, real quick,
question,
hang on, Cornelia. I'm just saying you used an acronym UAT. So, in case people are not familiar with that, what does UAT mean?
it's a kind of acceptance testing done by a business. So it is a different to a testing the quality assurance that we
Sure.
do on our end. So the client knows his business best. So he knows who will be the end user. So he can conduct the kind of tests that he can say us, okay, tell us, okay, it works the way that I imagined that. It meets our requirements. And trust me, not everyone is skilled to do that. Um, so by asking these questions, we come to the moment that the client may think like, okay, so I will need extra person in my team. Or the client may discover, okay, so by what I've just said, it means that if I have someone who is able to test and is available in my department only for 5 hours, I'm not going to do testing on my end. So that all impacts timeline. So
And
what
that
I'm
is
trying,
crucial. That
yes,
sorry to interrupt. I was just going to say that is crucial as we're doing this kickoff because you're really there's so many different aspects to look at, making sure that we set the right expectations and we understand their goals, they understand our goals, and how best we can work together. A little bit of that timeline, as you talked about, and then definitely the overall scope. I know as you were going into this, and as we're looking at it, you're really getting into how do you define those clear roles and understand that the UAT, user acceptance testing, you got to have somebody that knows what the client's going to be doing and how they're going to behave, correct? And as well as the other roles and the responsibilities.
Yes, and sometimes we are in a situation that the client doesn't feel strong enough in testing, and we support that. We're ready for that as well. So what I'm trying to say is that at the very beginning, the timeline that we are presenting is only a simulation, because there is lots of things that will influence it. And the client just needs to understand how his part impacts the timeline as well. Also, this is a good moment to discuss the goals, because as agency, sometimes we think, so the goal is to deliver on time and budget, as simple as that.
Right.
And I can tell you that by my experience, it's not always only that, or not mainly that. Client's goal may be, let's think that the client had a very bad experience with the previous agency, with no transparency or any other problems. And maybe the main goal for this client is to not staring at every single invoice statement looking if the login was correct, because they are fed up with that. And this is the biggest value for this client. So my role as a project manager is to say, I hear you, and to make sure that I obviously deliver on time and budget, but I make sure that I set the work the way that they really reach this goal. And we can do it together. Like they will not do it themselves, but I can do much without them. And
It
that's
sounds,
very,
sorry, sorry to interrupt, but I was going to say that sounds like it's one of those very important things of gaining the buy-in so that both parties, in this case, the client and the agency, are really bought in on the process and what you as the project manager are bringing to the process, and to make sure that everybody has clear expectations.
yes. And when I think about it, the times when we put ourselves in business position that the client is the task giver and we are just the tasks taker and we are doers, is not here anymore. The modern project managing and modern agencies like Creativity, they treat clients as a part of a team. We are experts, but we consider clients as experts as well, because they know their business best. But
Absolutely.
we are e-commerce experts. We are tech experts. We work with many different clients, so we have that experience that together we can do a lot. But to feel as a team, we need trust. What I find difficult with the clients that it needs time to grow this trust. It's not easy, but it is possible. It is possible, and I tell you that the most, the biggest project, the most difficult projects were based on that trust I am talking about.
Hmm. So, what is one of the things that I know you had mentioned to me as we were preparing for this that I wanted to hear more about was around the mitigating of risks. And you had mentioned something, a risk register. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. risk register is nothing new for project management, but it depends how you conduct that. We made it very simple at Creativity. It's open to our clients. It's made in Jira. And it's one of the touch points that we have with our clients. So it's not something that I just keep on my desk, and no one can look at it, because when we create risks, we want everyone in a team, especially client, to be involved in mitigating, to be involved in rating. We rate the risk inherent and residual risk, which means that we try to measure the risk when it comes, when it occurs and we observe it. And then after the action we decided to take, we measure it again, to see if what was applied really helped in mitigating. I think this is very new to clients, and they haven't experienced that with other agencies. And I'm proud of that, because they are a part of um, the most important thing in a project, managing risks. Um, Even the risk happens because of, let's say, our mistake, it's good
Right.
to involve the client and
Oh,
cooperate with him.
absolutely.
Mhm.
And a lot of that really revolves around your desire as a project manager, and is on having that transparency and using Jira. Jira is a software product that basically we use from a development standpoint to manage tasks and their completion, and we share that with our clients so that everybody sees it's transparent. Everybody sees what's being worked on, where their things are blocked, or what might be happening. So as we kind of get closer to the end here, I know you have some stories, some real world examples, some success that you've had, maybe even some challenges that we've had to work through. Cornelia, I'd love to hear a little bit more about maybe some of those real world examples.
Oh, yeah, there is a lot of things worth sharing, but when I think about an example that shows that building this transparency and building these touch points in Jira and having client involved would be the example where we have more than one agency involved in a project. So it's Creativity, and it's like integrator provider or app provider or any other modules. These projects become complicated at the stage where we have, when client discovers that there is actually no one responsible for all of it. And in my real story, the client had, for the long time, the client had kind of impression that the person responsible for all integration is one of the project managers who had the strongest personality, so acts a lot at the meetings, had always lots to say. But that became that this project manager considered himself as facilitator of the conversations, of the meetings that were just weekly status. But he didn't move any work. He didn't ask questions. There was no timeline gathering all of the parties, all of the actors. So what I always say to my colleagues, because we as PMs discuss situations in all projects at Creativity, I say, if you have a feeling, even a little one, that is out of control and there is no one accountable or no one responsible, just say it and take it. Take this responsibility, because you can actually speak for the client. And in my example, the client afterwards said, "Thank you for speaking for me, because I went to the conference, I wasn't able to check all of the decisions for nearly a week, and I didn't know that there is no one to look at it, to make sure that the things were going. There was no one place with the tickets where the bugs were sharing between tester and all of the agencies. So the creativity was the one saying like, hey, it's something wrong in here. Let's do it. And that worked. And obviously that worked also because the other agencies were like, okay, that was comfortable for them, that at least creativity conducted all of it. Um, but I think that that shows to our clients that they can rely on us a lot. And even if they are not able, or they just don't want to do a project manager role for more complicated projects, we can do it. We are fine doing it. We know what questions to ask.
And I think that's great. That's such a valuable piece. It earns trust with our clients. And it really does show that a lot of times it's not the loudest voice in the room that is actually leading anything. And and I really love what you said. And that's so important, that in the absence of leadership, we're going to step up, because if somebody's not leading it, we will. And that is so important. I'm so glad you do that. I'm so glad you drive that type of results for our PMs. Well, we're kind of at the end of our time here, Kornelia. But is there, what's maybe one or two things that you want to make sure people know about project management and really setting the stage for projects? What's one or two things you'd like everyone to be left with here?
Okay, so especially for agencies, for project managers, I know that the whole world is excited about Scrum and wants to do everything in a Scrum, but do not put the label on every single client and every single project that it's Scrum friendly, because loads of clients and organizations are not ready for that, or just project is not suitable for
Okay.
Scrum. Agile is a big bucket of different methodologies. So
Right.
pick the one that is good for the client, for the team, for the specific of the project. Um, Listen to the client, ask difficult questions. The client doesn't always know what is the best technology, but knows his business best.
Right.
So that's for project managers.
That's
For agencies, um, for clients, that would be invest trust and time and grow that trust, or let your project managers and let the agency to grow this trust with you. Become a part of the team. Don't be afraid of being part of the team and calling your team, your agency partners, because we are happy to
excellent.
be ones.
Excellent. Cornelia, that was fantastic. The reminders of building that trust, making sure you're flexible in the methodology and how you want to approach the project, and really keep the client's needs their desires and goals first and foremost. So, Cornelia, I can't thank you enough. So great to have you on here. This has been a bunch of fun, and I'm guessing we only scratched the surface on project management. So maybe we can have you back another time. But until then, we're out of time here. Again, I appreciate you. I thank everyone. Please, if you have questions or comments, we'd love to hear from you. Um, and we
Thank
also
you.
definitely want to see you again next time. So thanks a bunch, Cornelia. Thank you, everyone else. And until next
Thank you for
time,
having me.
you're very welcome. Take care.